Hi, everyone. I'm Robyn Lynn Norris, an actor, writer, and improviser living in Los Angeles, and I know everything about Bravo TV.
And I'm Carla Cackowski. I also live in Los Angeles. I'm a writer and a nap lover. And you know what? I know nothing about Bravo TV
Welcome to the Bravo Bubble, a podcast for Bravoholics.
and their friends who live outside the Bravo bubble.
Yay! We are so happy that you are on this journey with myself and Carla.
Boop, boop.
So, yeah, we're doing it now, Carla. We've got several episodes under your belt.
Yeah,
Before we dive into your last assignment, how are you? Everything okay
I'm
in your life?
good. Yeah, things are going great. Spring is here. We've released a couple episodes to the world and we're getting nice feedback, so that's really
Yes.
fun. I'm just a chipper lady.
Ooh, I love
Yeah,
that. And you look gorgeous.
thank
You look
you.
very spring-like, which is
Thank you. You
lovely.
too.
Yes. I'm wearing all black, but that's fine.
It's your version of spring. That's
Something on
fine.
my shirt. Yeah, that's fair. My nail polish is spring.
It is. It matches my
So,
shirt. I noticed. I
yes.
noticed. I never do my nails. That's one thing I never do.
I just started last year, at the end of last year, and I was like, I love doing this. And then, of course, the first 3 months this year, I didn't do it at all. And then I just did it yesterday. So, gonna
Have you
try.
made your quarterly goals? Because we just finished the first quarter.
Ooh, good question. I made a lot of them, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think
haven't
so.
made mine yet.
I've been traveling a lot, so this is my first week back in town. I've had luckily had gigs on the East Coast the last 5 weeks, which is
Yeah.
awesome. So I've been tr juggling it all, but you've done some stuff. I've finished a script that I'm really excited about, and I've made a good amount of my goals, this podcast being one of them, I
Yes.
think. And I know you've
Yes.
done some of your goals because
No,
we've
I'm
talked
sorry.
about
I
it.
said that wrong. I did finish some goals from the first quarter. I have not created my goals for the second quarter yet.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
That's a
I said it
great
incorrectly.
distinction.
So
I have. I great. Yes, I have through via my
great.
bullet journal and all the, my
Love
Channy
it.
Nicholas astrology planner that I use that you
Yes.
also have.
That I
Yes,
also use only for notes, which you can't even see
I
because I have
can't
everything
see.
blurred. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways. Yeah,
Uh,
great.
okay, good. Well, yeah, and I'm been watching a lot of great TV, which we can talk about later. But
Yeah,
other than that,
me too.
just living life.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. It's important to
So
do.
it is. So let's dive in.
Great.
We have finally released the podcast. So when you're listening to this, we will have pre-recorded this several weeks beforehand. Now it's out in the world. It is fun to hear people's feedback. So if you are
Mm.
listening and you have feedback, send it our way and we will address it on future episodes.
Maybe,
S-
most likely, probably.
Most likely. We'll see if we
We'll
want
see
to.
if we
Uh,
remember.
yes. And Carla, since we've had a couple weeks off on our end, I'm gonna reintroduce this Bravo, Bravo, blah, blah, Bravo. Has
Great.
anything come up Bravo wise since our last recording that you noticed?
I do actually, so I've stopped noting them as much because there's so much. There's so much in the world
Mm,
for Bravo these days. So shoot. I don't, oh wait, this one was the one that made me laugh. I think I sent this to you. It's like a White Lotus meme with the three
yes.
friends standing in front of the White Lotus symbol, and someone made a meme. It says they look like they work at Sir. And that
Yes.
like made me so happy that I knew what that meant. So that was like the highlight of what we're talking about for me.
Amazing. We will put that in our Substack show notes for anyone who wants to see that image. You've probably all seen it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's infiltrating your feed now, Carla. So there's going to be
Yes.
more and more.
Yes, totally.
Fabulous. Okay, great. Well, let's dig into your assignments. This week was an interesting week. Your music video watch was
Yeah.
Waking
Super
Up in
weird.
the Morning by Judice, Judice. It's not so much a music video. It was kind of a phenomenon though, so that's why I put it
Okay.
on here. So you watched it, yes?
I did.
Okay.
I
How'd you
was
feel? What happened?
very like confused, and just because my only context was the ones that we've watched before, which were
Hmm.
like produced and more like music videos, so I kept being like, when does this turn into a music video? And then I realized, oh, it's a clip from the show, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it was kind of sad. I felt bad for her, and I didn't understand why she was singing about why she was sad. And then somebody was like mad at her parents, like, why does she know that they're hurting?
Yes.
And so sorry, there's like a gnat that I'm trying to get.
All
As you
good.
see, my ADHD like really kicks in. Okay, yeah, I felt sad, confused,
Aw.
I'm bummed out.
Okay, great. I kind of feel like that's probably why this became, well, I think maybe that's why this touched so many people, is it was like this very real moment. Now, you haven't watched an episode of Jersey yet. The only thing you know is I can't wait to grow up, that other video, and this. So yeah, I think it was Caroline
Is that the
Manzo.
same girl?
That's her
Sorry.
sister. That's her
That's her
sister.
sister. Younger or older?
She's younger, yet that video was way later than this. This
Okay.
is what you just watched is one of the earliest seasons of Jersey. And
Okay.
so it's when it's very, I mean, you can tell probably production wise, like based on the way everybody looks, their outfits and everything, it's not as glossy as maybe some
Yeah.
future episodes. And yeah, I think that was Caroline Manzo who was judging, like, why does she even know to be sad about this?
It felt like
Yeah.
a Scorsese movie.
Yeah, it kind of does, right? It feels like,
It's so
I mean,
dark and like kind of sad, like the sad girl. Not that he is
yes,
known for having children in his movies, but just like the adults like mad at each other, and
yes.
obviously the dialects, all
Hmm.
felt kind of I don't want to be like labely, but kind of mobstery a little
Well,
bit.
there are, it's not that far off. There's rumors about certain families on that
Oh,
show, and
interesting. Okay.
yes, so it does. I love that. You heard it here first. Real Housewives is up there with Martin Scorsese, or at least similar. So, yeah, it's very dramatic. And she just kind of,
Yeah.
it's just like this sweet little kid, and they're celebrating her. And then she just launches
Yeah.
into this sad song that she wrote. And it's such a kid-like thing to do. It's just like so honest. So I
Hmm.
think that's why it kind of blew up. So then years later, when TikTok became a thing, it just became this trend. And it
Yes.
was,
Yes.
and so that's another reason I wanted you to watch it because you love TikTok.
I
So,
do.
oh, and a little bit about the context. I haven't rewatched some of the old Jersey for a while, yet there was a lot of legal drama happening in their family.
Okay.
I think I told you that two of the people ended up going to prison from that show, and they
You
are
might have
per
told me. I remember nothing.
yeah, that's
Literally.
fair. That's why we're
I
doing
honestly
this.
thought I had seen this show. I
You
thought
have
I
not
had
seen
seen.
this show.
I was like, oh, I recognize them in
Yeah,
my
well, you
head.
do because Teresa was in the other video. So, as
Got
the
it.
mom. So, yeah, the parents actually, after this, did end up going to jail, both of the parents. So, these poor kids have kind of gone through a lot. So, I think that
Oh,
might have been part of it.
wow.
Um,
Well, she seems to be doing fine. I looked her up on Instagram. She's got like a lot of followers. She's
yes.
beautiful. She seems to be like strutting her stuff in a great way. I think she has a
Hmm.
really big podcast or something.
Hmm. And she's got a show coming
So
out. I mean, Teresa's got four daughters. They call them the daughters, and they're all really lovely, I think. So,
great.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad
Did
she's okay.
Did you watch the TikTok video to see the context?
I did. I watched, no, I couldn't find the Will Smith, even you sent me a video.
Yeah.
They talked about Will Smith doing the
Hmm.
TikTok, but I don't think it was on there. I think it was like him watching it or something.
I think that was the thing. I might be
Oh,
wrong. People can write in. I
okay.
think that was the thing. It's like, oh, I made this mistake and it's making me feel like I'm crying, like I'm watching this. Maybe.
Oh, I see. I thought he like did his own version of it where he was, okay, that makes more sense.
I think so.
I'm
We'll have to
so old.
dive deeper. It's okay. You're not old.
I was like, I don't know. Also, like Will Smith, what?
I
It was
mean,
just two worlds colliding.
that's the thing is this is universal. Like so many
Yeah,
worlds are going to collide.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Well, that was the only one that was like show context, I think, that I'm going to send you. So I did trick you a little bit. So for next month, or for next week, which music video do you want to see? I'm going to read you some titles again. Tardy for the Party,
Mm.
Money Can't Buy You Class, On Display, Expensive, Fire, Whatever I Want, Good as Gold, Touch in Public, Gone with the Wind, Fabulous, or How Many F's Do I Give? I might have said that one wrong.
Well, I'm a big fan of PDA amongst lovers and friends, so let's go with Touch in Public.
Touch in Public. Okay, so we are going to hop over to Touch in Public by Tom Sandoval, aka Charles
Ooh, I know
McMansion.
that name.
You sure
Yes.
do. Before I'm going to add a little thing here, I would love for you to just sing a little bit of what you think this song might sound like, Carla.
Let me just add this little thing.
Let me just add this little thing where I mess with you.
What's it called again? Touch in Public?
Touch in Public.
And it's a guy. It's Tom. So it's like,
Mhm.
I know you, you know me. In public, we make three. With my hands on your body, we touch in public.
Ooh, that might have to be added to the video. That is awesome. Nice, Carla. Oh my
Thank
God.
you. I do improv for a living, ladies and gentlemen. I don't rap. I don't rap improvise,
Well, not
but I
yet.
just did. Yeah.
You did. So, what do you think? I had the question pre-written, what do you think this song is about or what inspired this song? We actually already answered this on a
Mm.
previous podcast because
Oh, we did.
I did way back, read a paragraph about how he was inspired about it's like that moment when you're out in the club and everything's happening. And
Uh,
so I'll skip that question, but you may have to answer that in the future. I'm going to throw new things at you this week, Carla. So, let's move on to the Housewives. So,
great.
based on your answer last week, where I asked you who you would like to see, and you said definitely a former Carney, I assigned you the Real Housewives of
That's
Dallas,
right. I
which,
did say that.
yeah, so that's why we're jumping to Dallas when you haven't even seen Jersey or some of the real classics. We're
Yeah.
just gonna jump right in. So, I assigned you Dallas, season two, episode six, Don't Cry Over Spilled Tea.
Mm-hmm.
And before we go in, I'm realizing that, we want people to rewatch these episodes or watch for the first time and play along. We also want you to just listen to the podcast, even if you haven't. So I'm going to give you a quick recap of what happened in this episode, and then we'll get your thoughts, Carla.
Okay.
So we see the moms with their kids. Brandy's dealing with her daughters jumping on the bed and throwing pillows in her face. Leanne gives a speech at the Essential Energy Fall Reception. Deandra hosts an honest tea party where everyone can get real honest and upfront about things. Carrie and her husband Mark hosted dinner for Cameron and her husband Court with their daughter Zuri, and some marital tensions brew. Rich takes Leanne to a carnival and proposes to her by putting a ring in a balloon. The ladies get dressed for the tea party in ridiculous outfits and attend the tea party. Cameron calls Brandy out for not inviting Leanne to go see her grandfather, or not giving her a gift bag, sorry. Then she also calls Brandy out for not inviting Leanne to go see Brandy's grandfather. Brandy pretends to storm out. Then Leanne calls Carrie a condescending C word. Brandy calls Leanne out for saying Brandy isn't really my friend. And then she says that someone said Carrie's husband Mark was 100% gay, at which point Carrie threatens to walk out. Brandy asks Leanne if she ever had her face threaded by a vagina doctor. And they
Mm-hmm.
decide to go on a cast trip to Mexico. And then there's a preview for next time where you see Leanne high on drugs about to have surgery. And she's like, these are just my hands. They're not knives. So there's some drama that's going to happen there. So
Either way, I don't think she said no about the vagina doctor.
I don't think she did either. She just was like, well, he's also does this, and I'm
Yeah,
using him for
exactly.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
She
really funny.
she dodged that. So, Carla, first impressions of Dallas. You've seen New York, Beverly Hills, Vanderpump. So what about Dallas?
Well, I must say I really hated this.
Okay, fair, fair.
I this was the one, I think we've done 5 or 6 now,
Uh-huh.
something like that,
Yep.
where I was like, this is why I've never watched this show. This is exactly what I thought
Interesting.
this show was. This is exactly the kind of content that
Okay.
I do not like. I'm still like in the game and like
For
here to have
sure.
fun, but I really disliked it.
Okay, that's fair. We went from Salt Lake City last week that you
Yeah.
loved, and then this one.
Yes.
So it's going to happen. This is helping me assess where to continue
Great.
you on the journey. I had a feeling like Dallas might not be my first pick to put you in,
Yeah.
yet the Carney thing was kind of undeniable. So
Yes,
we,
yes. I mean, it's good for me to have to talk about this stuff because I have to like be able to critically explain why,
yes.
as opposed to just being like, it's not for me, which it
Yeah.
definitely isn't for me. But the catfighting between women, the
Hmm.
the fact that even when the episode was over, I still wasn't sure who was who, that they all very much felt like the same woman. And I will like, I do want to be a little respectful and like because it is a reality show, so these are real people. So what I
Uh-huh.
will say is that I do not like the characters that they are portraying themselves to be as people. Is
What a
that
nice way to
diplomatic?
put it. That's very nice. Yes.
It felt very, and I'm going to go in hard on this, Robyn.
Great.
And I'm not
That's fair.
I'm glad that I saw this one because I was confused as to why, based on the other ones we've watched, where I was like, oh, I probably should have started this sooner. It's not like my favorite thing, but it's not bad. But this one
Uh-huh.
was terrible.
Okay.
And and I was like, oh, I don't like watching women portrayed this way. I don't like watching women fight this way. And it felt very produced to me. Every single beat
Okay.
of the story felt like a producer off screen, like, and now we're going to do this, as opposed to the other ones where there were moments of that. But
Uh-huh.
I felt like it was maybe based on core traits of who the people were more so.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's
Great.
that.
I love it. We have to have your honest opinion here. That's what this
I
is
do. I
about.
had to be
So
honest. Yes, I can't
that's
lie. I
fair.
can't
That's
lie.
fair. So yeah, I see that. And also each franchise, they have different production companies. So you may also be picking up on different
Oh,
things.
interesting. I did not know that.
So
Yeah.
like Vanderpump and Beverly Hills, that's the same production company. Atlanta is the same production company, maybe as Jersey. I might be wrong on that. So there's different production companies happening as
Okay.
well. Um,
Interesting.
yeah. So, did you have any moments that made you laugh, gasp, or groan?
Yes. Well, first of all, in the recap from the previous episode, they start with one of the moms with her daughter doing like a Lady and the Tramp thing with
Uh-huh.
spaghetti or something. And I was like, wow, that is a bold choice right out of the gate for somebody like me who's never seen this show. I was like, this is so confusing and just
Yes.
an odd place to start. So there was that. I laughed at how, is it Leanne or it's not Luann, right? It's Leanne.
Leanne.
How she several times would say, "Well, growing up in the car on the carnival," she would say, "growing up on the carnival," or
Uh-huh.
"growing up as a carny." Just her continuing to find ways to bring it in made
Yes.
me
Oh,
laugh. I thought that was
nonstop.
funny. I actually forgot that the reason you picked this was because I wanted to see the carnival stuff. So I appreciate that because I actually that was my those were my favorite things of this episode was the carnival stuff. And then I was like, uh, with I think her name's Stephanie. Is it
Uh-huh.
Stephanie? When
Yes.
she said, Leanne dressed up as me and was the most beautiful I've ever seen her, that made me laugh.
That made me laugh too. That was really funny. She's like, it's probably the most beautiful I've ever seen her. Yeah.
So those things I thought were funny. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, great. I enjoyed, I didn't laugh. I actually just really enjoyed Leanne's carnival tips because I like to win things. So I was like, oh,
Yes.
aim for the shinier balloons. They're newer. They pop easier. We can win some prizes here. So
Yes.
that I liked. And then I did laugh, and I know it's her trauma. Just Leanne just going in every
Yeah.
time. She's just like, it'll be something will happen, then she's like, my own mother didn't want me, and my
Yeah.
papa didn't meet me till I was 17. And they're just like, okay, Leanne, because they've heard it like a million times. Uh,
Yes, yes. Yeah,
so
that was very what the kids would call cringe.
yeah, yeah,
I mean us, what we would call cringe.
for
What
sure,
we would
for
call.
sure. And then it did make me laugh, Brandy, when she's like, I look ridiculous, I feel ridiculous, and I feel like I'm about to hang out with ridiculous people. And that made me.
Yes, that was funny. Yeah.
So I don't even know if I have to ask this. Do you have a favorite or least favorite character?
No, they all feel the same to me. I mean, Luann, I keep saying Luann. Luann's a different one, right?
Luann's New York.
Is
Yes.
that Countess Luann?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I remember some things. I'm
Hmm.
talking to myself, not you. You always believe in me, Robyn.
I do.
Leanne seems like the villain in this episode, though I could certainly imagine any one of them being the villain at any point. They all, yeah. But in terms of a favorite, again, I'm going to say it as diplomatically as possible. I do not like the characters that they presented to me. I don't like any of them.
Fair.
I'm on none of their sides.
Great. Great. And so this may be a moot question as well. Who would you want to follow for future seasons or storylines as a writer? If you had to write, if your show got greenlit and you were getting paid a bunch of money, even if you didn't want to be on it, who would you follow?
Okay, all right. Well, when you put money into it, um, I did think there was something funny about the woman who was doing the tea party. What was her
Hmm.
name?
Deandra.
Deandra seemed like a manipulator who was like kind of like hanging back. That's was the character she presented in this
Yes.
episode. And so I would imagine that that would be a fun person to have around to kind of like
Hmm.
manipulate the mood of the group.
Great. Love that. Good. Okay. So now that you've seen this episode, your first, maybe your last of Dallas, here are some general questions. I'm just going to ask and
Okay.
see if you know based on your instinct now that you've been introduced to these ladies. This show actually did not originate as a Real Housewives franchise. It was originally titled something else. So I'm going to give you some titles to choose from.
What?
Okay. Was it
Amazing.
was
Okay.
it originally called Dallas Cowgirls? The
Oh.
Ladies of Dallas, Don't Mess with Texas, Ladies Living Large, or Texas Tea.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it could be any one of those. I think one of them said they were a Dallas cowgirl.
Hmm.
Or did I make that up?
No,
Let's go
Brandy.
with that. Let's go with
Okay.
Dallas Cowgirls.
Okay. Great guess. I feel good as a writer because you said those all sounded real because I wrote those other ones.
Well done.
The real one is The Ladies of Dallas. It's a very,
Oh, that was going to be my second answer.
yeah.
So, yeah, yeah.
So the original premise was not housewives. It was a very specific thing that all of these ladies were a part of. And this premise is featured in this episode. Do you have any idea what it was? Like, let's follow a bunch of ladies who are doing this or interested in
Hmm.
this.
Let's follow a bunch of ladies, like Dallas Society. Like, is that not specific enough?
That's
Maybe
cl that
like
was
maybe they're all, what is that called when rich people just volunteer? What is that called? Because I'm not a rich
philanthropy.
person. Philanthropy. I'm a poor person who volunteers, but I'm not a rich person.
Ding, ding, Carla. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. It was charities. It was
Really?
following, yes,
Okay,
it was
great.
following these ladies at their various charity functions. And
Oh, can we just stop for a second? That is so gross. That is
yeah,
so gross.
yeah.
Like, let's just acknowledge it let's put all this money and resources into rich women like in society throwing benefits and just watch them
Hmm.
talk shit about each other. It's
Hmm.
so mean. It's really mean.
It's
Okay, we can
fair.
move on.
That's fair. And I don't know if the premise was to watch them talk shit about each other as much as it was
Right.
like watch how the dynamics of people in this charity society, like it was competitive though, it was more in season one. Like Leanne was like the center of all of these charities, and Brandy's like, I don't do a
Okay.
lot of charity. It was so
So, can I ask a question? Did they like film it as like a pilot presentation and then they sold it to the Housewives franchise or
they, I think they filmed it, and I it. maybe was through Bravo. I'm not actually sure the whole backstory on how it was acquired. I just know that
Okay,
they retooled it to become a Housewives series. They
I
were like,
see.
something about these ladies, they were like, this actually could be this. And so they put it
Oh,
there.
interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is, and I'm going to give a warning for anyone who doesn't like, I'm just going to give a little warning on this next question. What theme is common in this franchise as well as in the franchise Real Housewives of New York City? And I'll give you a multiple choice.
Okay.
Charities, poop, or catfights?
Well, definitely we saw some philanthropy in the New York one. Was there poop in this one that I just watched? I feel like it has to be poop because why would you put that in there otherwise?
Great response. Yeah, it's trick question. It's all of the above. I just
Okay.
think it's so absurd. This is one of the reasons I did not love this franchise as much as well, is this one was, especially in season one, just so much potty humor. Like Stephanie and
Okay.
Brandy thought farts were hilarious. And I'm not saying they're not. I don't need to
Right.
see yeah. And then in season one, there was even a plot line where a friend of named Marie told a story about Leanne pooping in a gift bag in the back of a car, which is absurd. So,
Well, not
yeah.
if you're stuck in traffic and you have to go.
Well, okay, there you go. Leanne Defender. There you go.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Carla
And New York, you'll see how that comes into play. It's not as strong as this. It does come into play
okay.
sometimes.
Poop.
Okay.
I love that you're like something real reasonable, poop, something reasonable. Which is it, Carla?
Which one, Carla? Sometimes these questions, I have to really figure out a way to squeeze them in. Okay, so some of the franchises are known for having like an iconic mother figure on. You didn't see that person in this episode. I'm
Mm.
curious, based on the ladies that you met, who do you think has this iconic mother that will be later featured on the series? So you
Oh,
have,
oh, who has the mom, not who becomes the
yes,
mother.
who
Okay.
has an iconic mother?
Could it be the redhead?
It is not Brandy.
Okay.
Good guess. Any other guesses? There's no way
No.
for you to really know.
They all feel the same to me. I don't
Great,
care.
great. Okay, got it. That would be Deandra Simmons, and her
Oh,
mom is
okay.
called Mama D,
Mama
and
Day.
she runs this like beauty cosmetic line. She has the same wig that she's had since like the 1980s. That part's pretty awesome.
Fascinating. I have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Do Okay, so watching this, it felt very Texan to me.
Uh-huh.
But like, and I have friends in Texas.
Yep.
That makes it all what I'm about to say sound even worse. But just, I'm not being like super judgy, pointy fingers. I'm being slightly, which these all felt like stereotypes of the same kind of Texan woman,
Yeah.
which is like a Southern woman,
Uh-huh.
obviously, white woman.
Yes.
And so I'm curious if the only other one in the South is Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Does
Hmm.
that have similar vibes of like Southern,
I don't
you
feel
know?
like by Southern you mean like kind of self-righteous? What do you mean like how
Well, you
Cameron
said
was
it.
being? Well, how Cameron was like
I'm
how
just
she
kidding.
has her skirt was, you know.
No, I love that I'm talking around my judgment. Which is, yeah, like a Southern white woman who like grows up in society and
Mm,
appearances are everything. I'm talking about a stereotype, everybody. So if
yes.
you're living in Texas, don't get mad. Like this kind of like gossipy over drinks, kind of like, well, so and so was seen with so and so last
Oh,
week. And
yes.
we have our debuts and like, where we
Yes,
parade
yes, yes,
our
yes.
daughters out in front of a crowd, like
I
that
would
kind of
not
stuff.
say Atlanta is like that. I think all of the housewives kind of are around whatever their society is, and it's like
Yes.
they have a thing. This one just is very, maybe a little kind of what you would expect or cliche. There is a Southern show though called Southern Charm,
Oh, yeah, I've
which
heard of that.
it's not necessarily that though. There's elements of it. I love that show. It's awesome.
Is it
It's
a Bravo show as well?
it is, and I will have you watch an episode at some
Okay,
point because
I'll watch an episode of
it's
that.
a good one.
Great.
So, great question. Okay, you saw your first Housewives proposal. Do you think that Rich and Leanne actually got married? And if so, are they still together?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I cheated. I don't know why I Googled her. Oh, I do know why I Googled her. I saw that they're still married, I think.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, they got married in 2009. But
Uh-huh.
the reason I was Googling her was because, and I know I put everybody to sleep with my zodiac readings of the last cruise,
Oh, no, I
but I
love
was
this.
like, after the gossip and everybody was like, she's so gossipy. I was like, she has to be a Gemini. And I looked it up and she is indeed a Gemini.
No way.
So
Oh,
for the first time I was right because all the other ones I was wrong on.
that's
But yeah,
awesome.
and in her little box, you know how like it pops up
Uh-huh.
and it's like the spouse. I saw that they were married.
Okay, yes. It's not very common that people like last on these shows, so I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. They
He
married
seems
in
kind of nice. Like,
Yeah, he seems nice. Isn't it
yeah.
interesting that like the kind of like nicest, most low-key guy is married to maybe one of the highest drama people on the
Yeah.
show?
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
they have to like balance each other out. I'm a Gemini, so
Yeah. Oh,
and my
okay.
husband's a Libra who's super
Y-
low key. So I wonder if
Yes.
he's a Libra, her husband.
He might be. We'll have to look that up.
Your husband's a Libra.
He is. Yep. Balances out
Mhm.
my overly emotional state at all times. Yes. Okay. Great. I might have to add that to the questions. I like you giving that astrology readings, so that's great. Or readings or figuring out the signs. Okay, a couple more questions. Two of these cast members were new this season. Any idea who were the
Mm.
newbies? We had, oh, do you want a recap of who the people were? Or do you know them?
I'm gonna say it was I really don't know who it could be, honestly. Again,
Yeah.
they all kind of, but would it be the blonde who didn't really talk as much as the other blonde?
Hmm. Okay, so I think you're saying Stephanie.
No, not I'm not saying her, I'm saying the other one.
Okay, Cameron, who was
Cam, yeah.
Cam. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
And then I have no idea who the other one would be.
That's fair. Deandra, the one who had the
Oh,
gavel and hosted the party.
interesting. She
Yeah.
was so bossy. I thought for sure she had been around for a while.
No, she was new. Okay. We might have to put a warning on this episode
A
just
trigger
because of
warning?
yeah, because just the content. Maybe less of a trigger warning and more of a, I don't know, profanity warning. On the next episode, Leanne is high on drugs before the surgery. You saw a little bit of a sneak preview. She accuses Carrie's husband of what? I'm going to give you three
Wait, I'm
possible.
sorry. All those names just went
Okay,
into soup in my head.
that's
Say it
fair.
again.
So Leanne, the carney,
Yes.
she's about to have
Yes.
surgery, and you see on the preview, you see the words. She's being taped, and she maybe doesn't know, and she's like, "They're just hands. They're not
Oh, yeah, yeah.
knives."
That
So
was weird.
she accuses Carrie, who is the one we saw have the dinner with her husband and daughter, and they were kind of bickering. She was
Yes.
she called her a C word on this episode. She
Yes.
accuses her husband of which of the following, and I will say them. A, being a bad dad.
Oh,
B, attending secret sex parties with Dallas Cowboys. Or C, getting his dick sucked at the roundup.
oh my gosh. Well, they already said that she was spreading rumors about him being a homosexual,
Hmm.
and Carrie was very upset. And she
Yeah.
also wanted to make sure it didn't offend the LGBTQ
Yes.
community. Her words, not mine, because I would then add IA.
This is an old episode. Yes, yes,
Of course,
fair.
of course. But I thought that was nice that she said that.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go with number two.
Okay, the Dallas Cowboys sex parties. Okay,
Yes.
good guess. I made that up. I didn't know what to put because the reality is so absurd. It is he gets his dick sucked at the roundup. Yeah,
Wow.
it was
Why does she
so
have it out for him?
I I'm not sure. I can't remember what the backstory is. I really was kind of
Yeah,
one and done with Dallas. I watched them. I didn't ever like revisit. So even trying to assign you an episode, I kind of had to
was a
Google
struggle.
and see
Yeah.
where's the strongest Carney episode. Okay, last question on this episode, and then we'll.
By the way, I liked him. I thought that the fight that they had was
Uh-huh.
really, I was kind of on his side.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know that they show a lot of spouses bickering on Housewives. So that was like, oh, that was an extended kind of
Yeah.
scene there. They are no longer together.
Okay. Good
Um,
for them.
it kind of happens. Okay, last question. Which of these housewives that you just met, which of their father-in-law had an ongoing legal battle against Katy Perry?
What? Okay, one of these women's husband's father
Yes.
has had a legal battle, an ongoing
Yes.
legal battle against Katy Perry.
Yes.
Well, I don't know all the husbands, so it's tricky. So let's just be random. Why not? And let's say Stephanie.
No, but it is the other blonde, Cameron
Cameron. Okay.
Westcott. Yes. So her husband, Court's father, was the previous owner of this mansion that Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom bought in Montecito, California. And they bought it for 15 million in July 2020.
Oof.
And the story is that they bought it and then the father-in-law changed his mind. Now, I will give you some context. He was ill, and so they were
Mm.
saying this was an invalid transaction due to his mental
Oh.
state. It's just so wild how the housewife
Mm.
universe like collides with all these other things. And,
Yes, yes. So what
Katy
does
Perry,
the father do or did for a
that
living?
I don't
You don't
know.
know.
I don't know. I
But he's
didn't
got
dive.
some money.
Yeah,
Okay,
they do have some money for sure.
got
Okay.
it.
Now we're going to move on to General Bravo. We're going to shake off Dallas. Goodbye, Dallas.
Goodbye,
And
Dallas.
let's move on and see if we can find a different place to take you next week. I'm gonna read some Housewives taglines. You know how the taglines are at the beginning of the show. You're familiar with that. And have you guess which franchise they are from. Okay.
Okay.
So do you need a refresher on what the different cities are?
No, let's just go for it. Let's
Let's
just dig
just
in.
go. Okay. All right. The secret to this pretty face is staying in the shade.
Beverly Hills.
Mm. Potomac, Giselle
Oh,
Bryant, season 6.
okay.
Okay. I may be married to a plastic surgeon, but I'm 98% real.
Oy. Beverly Hills.
It's a good guess. Maybe somewhere close to there?
Sacramento.
No! Orange County.
Orange County. Oh, right. That's one. Okay, great, great,
Yes.
great.
So that's Heather Dubrow, married
You
to
know, there's
Terry
so many
Dubrow.
plastic surgeons in Sacramento, in case you didn't know.
I
I can
know.
send you a link.
Of course, that's why you guessed that.
Yeah.
Good, good. Okay, next one. I won Miss USA, not Miss Congeniality.
Mm. I won Miss USA, not Miss Congeniality. Atlanta.
Yes, Kenya Moore,
Hey,
season 5. Good job, Carla. All
thank
right,
you.
next. I'm not a bitch, but I've played one on TV.
Beverly Hills.
Yes, ding, ding, ding. Eileen Davidson, season 5,
Oh,
another soap
yep.
opera
She has
actress.
played one on TV.
Yes. Okay. I used to flip tables, now I'm turning them.
I used to flip tables, now I'm turning them. I'm scrappy. I'm from New Jersey.
Yes,
Really?
good. Yes, New
Okay, so
Jersey.
I think the pattern here is I have to get into character.
I love this. Please get all into character. Repeat the
Okay.
line as the character you think it is. Yes, New Jersey, Teresa Giudice, season 7. Okay. When you take cheap shots, always expect a hangover.
When you take cheap shots, always expect a hangover. I take shots in Miami.
Ooh, I like that you guessed Miami because we haven't really dug into that one. It is Salt Lake City, Lisa
Oh,
Barlow. She has Vita
I like
Tequila.
her. I
Yes.
like Lisa Barlow, right?
I
Didn't I like her? I think I
you
did.
do. I like her too. She's very
Yeah.
funny. Okay, next quote. There's nothing gray about my gardens.
Duh, that's gross. There's nothing gray about my gardens. because my gardens reside in Potomac.
I like that. Oh, the tie-in. New
Uh,
York,
New
Miss Sonia
York,
Morgan, who
of
you have not met
course.
yet. She lives in a
Okay.
townhouse that was often referred to as Grey Garden-esque.
Ooh, gross.
Well, you'll see why when you see it. It's not that
Are
gross.
there
It is.
like a bunch of raccoons and cats?
There's a lot of not. No, there's a lot of interns, unpaid interns that run
Oh,
around, and it's like this old. The decor may be Grey Gardens-esque, maybe.
exciting. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm passionate about dogs, just not crazy about bitches.
I'm passionate about dogs, just not crazy about bitches, said somebody who is from Beverly Hills.
Do you know
Yeah?
who? Because we've talked about this person
Yeah,
before.
the dog lady.
Yeah, the dog lady.
It's okay. It's the one who owns Sir.
Yes, Lisa Vanderpump. Yes,
Yes,
ding,
of
ding,
course, of
ding.
course. Vanderpump
Okay.
Rules. Yes, yes, yes. This is like whew,
Well,
hard.
it is hard. Some of these you've had glimmers of hints throughout our last episodes. So I feel like your memory is pulling, is retaining.
It's trying.
So
It's
good.
trying. It's good for me to be going through perimenopause and have this working for my brain.
It's great. This is great exercise for you.
This and Wordle, I'm fucking killing it.
You are crushing it, Carla. All right, next one. We only have two more. I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste.
Buh. I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste, Dallas.
Ooh, New
No?
York.
Okay, well, let me try
No.
again.
Okay.
Uh, I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste, Orange County.
I love how you were very like confident and
And
set.
incorrect.
Incorrect. Incorrect. That was New
Okay.
York, Ramona
Oh,
Singer, the
oh,
dancer
Ramona.
from the previous episodes. All right,
Yeah,
last
yeah.
one. I think you can get this one.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
I'm more of a free spirit without the Holy Spirit.
I'm more of a free spirit without the Holy Spirit because I'm from Salt Lake City.
Whitney Rose.
Yeah, Whitney. I
Nice.
like Whitney too, right? I
Yeah,
think.
that was
Yeah.
good. That was a good impression too.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great. Eh, Any of those taglines, any of them stand out to you as funny or that you liked? If you can
I
remember, if
forgot all of them.
you forgot all of
I
them. No.
literally don't remember. The Holy Spirit one, I like. That was funny. That was also
hmm
the last one we did.
It was.
I don't remember any of them.
No
Sorry.
problem. That's fine. I'll go off of what your first impressions are when I rewatch this. Okay.
Okay.
What friend group would you rather hang with? And I'm going to give you some nicknames of some of the friend groups. Okay.
Okay.
The Trace Amigas, Frick and Frack, the Fox Force 5, Bad
Oh.
Weather,
Oh.
the Green Eyed Bandits, or
Mm.
Lucy and Ethel. And I can repeat those if you
Aw, that's
want.
cute.
Yeah.
I mean, my instinct is Frick and Frack because it sounds like a funny buddy comedy where they're like tripping on things and
Uh-huh.
like maybe like eating ice cream out of, the whatever it's called.
Yeah. Okay, great. I love it.
Yeah,
Great.
like sitting on a couch, like eating ice cream, making fun of each other. Then one of them gets up to go to the bathroom and like trips over something. That's Frick and Frack.
That sounds great. I
Okay.
Let's find out if that's what they are. I love that.
With
Uh,
heels, of course,
of
because it's
course.
it's the housewives.
Frick and Frack definitely wear heels. I'll tell you that. So I'll tell you who they are in a second. Now you made a face with Fox Force 5. Was that a recognition face or what
Oh,
was
it just
that?
sounded like tough. It sounded cool.
Cool. Okay, great. So I will ask you now real quick which franchise they're from. Okay. Now I
Okay.
know you like Frick and Frack, so we're gonna just go back in order though. The Trace Amigas. Which franchise might they be from?
Right. So that would probably, ooh,
And what would that, I mean, what would,
Miami?
that's a great guess. It's not. It's Orange County,
Oh, okay.
and it doesn't probably make sense to you. Vicky Gunvalson, who you liked her name before, Vicky Gunvalson,
Oh
Tamra
yeah, yeah.
Judge, and Shannon Bedore. Vicky just loves Mexico and loves, she's like, let's whoop it up, let's party in Mexico. So they became the Tres Amigas, and that's just was their thing. Okay, so that's how that one. Frick and Frack. Any thoughts on what franchise that might be from?
That sounds like it could be, I don't know. It sounds like it, oh, I hope it's not Dallas. I really don't want to do Dallas again. Is it Dallas?
It's not Dallas.
Okay. Okay, good. It sounds like it could be New York.
Okay, that's a great guess. It's Atlanta, Portia
Oh,
Williams, and Phaedra Parks.
I almost said Atlanta because it is more of like a Southern kind of phrase. I almost
Yeah,
said that.
it's a good one, and they're a fun duo, so we'll introduce you to them soon. Next, the Fox Force 5.
Sorry, do you know what
Oh,
frickin' frack is? I just have heard people say that before, but I don't know what that is.
I feel like it's like antics, or
Okay.
I guess I don't know. I should
I
have
always feel
looked
like
that
I
up.
heard people be like, "Oh, frickin' frack over here," but like I
Frickin'
wonder
frack
what the
meaning.
origin is. I mean, it might be something for next episode, but
Okay, I don't know if this is real. Frickin' frack refer Frickin' Frack refers to a Swiss skating duo, Werner Grobley and Hans-Rudi Frack Mock, known for their eccentric trick skating act
what?
and comic routines. Is that what this says? They,
Wow.
I mean, what? Outlandish routines often performed in alpine lederhosen that defied gravity. They called themselves Frickin' Frack because their parents didn't approve of their careers, and the word frick was a name for a real Swiss town, and the word frack was slang for frock.
I love this. I would have never in a million
Wow.
years even come up with
We
that story.
see,
Does it
we're
have a
learning.
date, like a year?
Well, it does say that they appeared in the 1943 feature film Silver Skates and the 1944 film Lady Let's Dance.
I'm fascinated. I'm about to go after we get off. I'm going to go down a whole freaking frack rabbit hole.
Whoa. We're gonna put a picture of Frickin' Frack in the Substack show notes. So
Love it.
anybody who wants to get more info, we will start putting things that we reference and continue putting them along with our quizzes in the Substack show notes because I'm looking at a picture here and this is awesome. And they look very
Yeah.
fun. It looks like an old school like Abbott and Costello type. Wow,
Okay.
we're
All
learning.
right.
Who
I'm
knew?
actually relieved because at first I was like, oh God, I hope it's not something offensive because it's
No.
just like a,
Yeah.
phrase I've heard for a long time. Yeah.
And anything could be, I should really
Yeah.
look some of these things up before I put them in. The Fox Force 5. You have encountered them before.
Is it Salt Lake?
Mm-mm,
No. New York?
mm-mm.
No. What else did we do?
It
I
was a
don't
while
remember.
ago for you. It was Beverly Hills.
Oh, Beverly Hills. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Kyle, Richards, Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane, Dorit Kemsley, and Teddy Mellencamp.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Bad weather. What franchise and what the heck might that even mean?
Bad weather. Probably like trouble, like stormy, is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, they seem to hate each other. No, okay.
I'll tell you this for the rest of them. I didn't put any Dallas in. Dallas never got any nicknames off the ground. So,
Okay, great.
yeah.
Okay. Wait, what is it again? Stormy
Bad
weather?
weather.
Bad weather. Salt Lake City?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good, good,
This
good.
is another Lisa Barlow quote about Whitney and Heather. Whitney and Heather, bad weather over there. So
Oh, fun.
that's bad weather. Okay.
Great.
Two more. The Green-Eyed Bandits. Where do you think that's from?
The Green-Eyed Bandits. Green-eyed. Hmm. Potomac?
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
You're
I just
you're crushing it.
guessed. I was a
And,
pure guess.
right. And you were right. And it's two people who have green eyes, Robin Dixon
Oh,
and Giselle Bryant.
so it has
So
no meaning like jealousy or envy or anything like that.
it's more, that's a great question. It could be that. I think it's more so like they are a very tight friend. And so everybody be like the green-eyed bandits over there. And also because they are, there's some racial things in this, in that city, some discussions about
Mm.
colorism. So they are
Oh, interesting.
fairer skinned with green eyes.
Oh, interesting.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay.
So that will come up when you watch that episode or that franchise. Okay, last one. Lucy and Ethel.
Yeah, that's cute. What haven't we said yet? New York? Nope.
Close, close.
New Jersey.
Yay! Good. Yes, that's Teresa Giudice and Jacqueline Lorita. That's an old
Okay.
school from the innocent days, Lucy and Ethel. That is cute. Okay, I got to figure out where to put you. I think I know. I think I got to put you in another very classic one as opposed to, not to say Dallas isn't classic, but it was canceled after 5 seasons, and I'm going to put you
Yeah.
in another iconic one, I think, for next week. So
Great.
I will send you that assignment and I'll try to pick one that'll make you laugh because I think the
Great.
franchise I'm taking to you to is one of the funniest ones. So
Okay.
we'll have some fun.
Love it. Love it.
Yes. Now, Carla, before we sign off, do you have any questions for me about anything you experienced this week
Do a lot
or
of
Bravo?
these franchises. I feel like we've seen this a couple times already where they're like fighting, fighting, fighting. Let's go on vacation. Is that like a trope?
It's such a trope. It's going to be one of my quizzes. It almost was this week. They always do that. And that part, the way they reveal it is often produced. It's like they get everyone together, like, I was thinking we could all go.
Yes.
And then
It
they
felt
go
so,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is that different people host the trips and
Right.
of cast
Okay.
members, and
Which we
drama
saw in Salt Lake
ensues.
City. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, you saw your first
I thought it
catch
was a
up.
trope, but I was just like,
It for
if it's
sure
not,
is.
then this is weird.
It's for sure a trope, just because
Okay.
you get them in a contained location and see what
Yes.
happens. And also some more variety production wise, so it's not just at everybody's houses. So,
This was the first one where I actually like really watched the opening. Not that I
mm,
wasn't watching it before, but like I was retaining it more.
yeah.
And I noticed they had stars, which is like
Yes.
a Texas thing, right? I
Yes.
guess.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask, because forgive me for being so ignorant, but what about, is it like, I don't know, why stars? Why is stars connected to Texas again?
I it's the Lone Star State, I
Yes,
think.
there you
And
go.
like
Okay,
that star is
that's
like the
it.
Dallas Cowboys kind of it's on all their
It's
stuff.
like
I
their logo. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Good question. I mean, we did talk about what people held in their hands
Yeah,
before, and that one is one of the ones like, okay, they got to come up with
yeah.
something. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think because we just released a second one where we were talking about the snowflakes, and I'd forgotten it until I saw our promo, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should be paying attention to what they're holding.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I want you to watch always the previously on and the next time on
Yeah,
too, because I sometimes those storyline they have like iconic moments, and I'm curious
right.
your thoughts on
Yeah.
those things.
I mean, I definitely have always watched them, but I some things I just absorb and some things I don't, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll try to do a better job.
All good. Carla, so yeah, I'm gonna keep you in the Housewives world for next week,
Okay.
and then maybe we'll do one of the spin-offs on a following week, and I will give
Okay.
you your assignment shortly. Everybody else, stay tuned, and I will give you that assignment. And like I said, go to the show notes and you can download the quiz and play along if you know the Housewives or if you have a friend who doesn't know the Housewives and you want to give them those quizzes, you can play along there. So thank you everybody for joining the Bravo Bubble. I have been Robyn Lynn Norris.
And I'm Carla Cackowski. If you have a question you'd like to ask us, you can email us at thebravobubble@gmail.com.
Follow us on all social media platforms at the Bravo Bubble.
And if you're into our content, it really helps to give us a review on Apple or Spotify.
Right, and this brilliant music, the theme song, is composed by Christa Duggan.
And our official Bravo Bubble photography is by Ian Zandi.
Thank you so much, and we will see you next time on the Bravo Bubble. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hi, everyone. It's just Robyn here with your and Carla's next assignment. Well, based on Carla's very strong reaction to Dallas, we got to go somewhere a little more fun. So we are going with one of the GOATs. We are finally going to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 5, episode 17. The Strip is a Trip. This is going to be a fun one. We'll see you soon.